Okay, hi everyone. This is Ben Lieb, and I'm going to do a brief as possible introduction to harmony parts, so you kind of get a feel for what it does, what it can do for you, and how to operate the thing. So you're either an administrator or you're a choir member or an ensemble member, and I'm going to do a little bit of both roles just because it all fits together. So I'll start with the administrator role just so you can invite someone and then we can see how the invitation process works. So you come to the site, it's harmonyparts.com, and you can hit this little button that says get started for free, but it's the same as if you hit this button, sign in. I'm going to go ahead and sign in with Google. You can also sign in with email and password. Excuse me. So I get to the dashboard when I first log in, and if you hit the little hamburger menu, you'll see some other things here. And the first thing we see is organizations that I'm a member of or that I own, my user profile, and my favorites, which there are none. So I'm going to use the Land of Sky course in Asheville as an example. If we go into this organization, and if I'm an administrator, I'll see the subscription plan, and other users will see playlists and the songs and members. So if we want to invite someone, we can see how that process works. And then once that is going, you can imagine as a regular user that you're being invited, and we can see how that works when you receive it in your email. So if we go to all members, these are the members that are active. Here's the members that haven't accepted their invitation yet. Okay, I think the best thing to do here, I found the current invitation for this email, and this can just demonstrate the revoke invitation function for the admin. So here's someone I want to invite, but they're uninvited. But in order to show that process, I'll just revoke this invitation, and that disappears. So I can invite that person again. All right, so we'll go up here, invite new member, and list, and the email is this. I'm gonna make them a member, invite the member. That should have invited me. And let's see in my email if I got something. There's been a couple of invites. Um, let's make sure the email address is good. So that's Pixelterra. Do. Okay, so this is a good demonstration. So I have two invites for that email. If I take the first one, it shouldn't work because only the last invitation actually works. Looks like there's a problem finding your invitation. You might see this. I should probably improve this, to be honest. But if you go to the second one, you're invited. This one should work just fine. If I sign in here, it will say welcome to Harmony Parts. Congratulations. So that's the invitation process. Everyone will probably have to go through that. So I might streamline it at some point where you can just log in and see the invitation that you've been invited to. Right, so we're going to accept the invitation. Should reroute me back to the front. And there I would be acting as a normal user at this point. And this is the organization I was just invited to. I'm going to switch back to my other user, which is an admin. So if you're not thoroughly confused already, good news. Right. So let's just walk through kind of the lay of the land. So here's organizations that I own or I'm a member of, and we're going to use Land of Sky course as a demo. Go to your profile. Right now, it's just managing some email communication stuff. You could also send us a message if you want to, the dashboard again, and into the chorus. So here's some playlists that the admins have made for the chorus. So we have audition repertoire, holiday repertoire, etc. And inside each playlist, there will be specific songs related to that playlist. You can click this thing right here. If you can see this, to go back to the organization. I think bigger repertoires would be general repertoire, something like that. You can see a bunch of songs. Come back to the organization and see all songs. So in here, the playlist, there are only specific songs in each playlist, but there's also a list of all of the songs, regardless of what playlists here. And you can go into them, see a big review here, and you can click into the song like so. So we'll talk more about that in a second. So what else is here? The members, I think we've already seen that. So imagine I wanted to practice a song, and that song was called, I don't know, Santa. No, that's a holiday song. Let's just do um, singing, keep the whole world singing. So this is the play view for the song. There's also an edit view for admins. Here you can edit song details, you can edit the audio files and that kind of thing. Go back to the song player. Right here, we'll load the audio for the song. And there's a manual button for this now for a number of reasons, because if I didn't have that button, this audio would load every single time you went to this page. But sometimes people come here just for the PDF or to download the PDF, for example, right here. And it's just a lot of lag on mobile, especially to always be loading them, even if you want to just check on something. Some of these have lyrics, etc. So we hit that button and you get the multi-track player. So I'll just hit this button real quick so you can hear what it sounds like.
Keep the whole world
So
singing
quiet for now. Let me see.
all day long.
Anyway, if my audio is set
Watch
up well,
good
you should hear
will
it.
come
So,
a winging
so what's so
on
special about this? All of the parts are included in this. So a lot of people when they're learning, especially want to hear just their particular part so they can master that. So this multi-track player allows us to adjust the volume of each track independently, and it lets us pan whether that audio is in left or the right. You can also download the I guess you could call this a track right here, the actual audio file associated with this track. So to demonstrate that, I'll play this, and if I hit the one button, it'll solo just this part. If I hit it again, we'll bring everything back. We can solo this. We can also kind of manipulate these bits independently, which is quite useful, I think, when you want to kind of, if you're, say, if you were a tenor here, you could gradually fade out this part as you're learning it. Well, I guess you could solo it while you're learning it, and then when you want to be part of the course, you could fade this out, kind of like training wheels, so that this part's totally going, and then you're actually singing your part. I wonder if this is recording in stereo. If it is, we can hear this panning work.
and ringing.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna bring this panning back to center. I'll click on the little gray bar here to move the scrubber to come back. And maybe we can demonstrate a
Keep
whole
the
phrase. So we
whole
started
world
around here. I'm
singing.
going to grab this little yellow thing. This is a looper.
Keep the
So if I want to just practice that whole phrase, it ends.
Keep
Keep
the
the whole word.
whole world singing.
So that phrase ends around here. I'm going to grab this other end of the looper and match it up here. And so this will let us just
Keep
practice
the
one phrase
whole world singing. Keep the whole world
and just practicing one particular chunk at a
singing.
time. So that's
Keep
the
the
looping mechanism.
whole
And this
world
little button right here determines
singing.
whether looping is on or off.
Keep
So
the
I can hit that button,
whole
and in
world
theory, it should stop at the end.
singing.
And then you can hit play to do it again, so you can
Keep
have
the
manual control there.
whole world singing.
Okay, let's reset our loopers. What else do we have up here? These are pretty self-explanatory. You can jump forward 5 seconds
Keep the
or
whole
backwards 5 seconds. Um, the pitch right here, these are starting pitches, and you notice there's a little note here and a note here. If you click that, real quiet for me. I'm not sure if you can hear that in the audio. But that's the starting pitch of this track as I'll go back to the edit view as determined by the editors. So if the audio files, um, this is I guess for the admins here, starting pitch, you can edit this and choose your pitch and your octave. And these are red because obviously this is a bit long for a title. Might as well just change it while we're here so you can see how that works. On mobile, those titles would be hard to see. All right, so those should be saved. If we go back to the player and refresh those, you'll see those names are simpler now. You can play all of those pitches in succession here. And if you're brave, you can try to change the pitch. So I'm not sure this is particularly useful. It starts to sound a bit funny because this is
keep
a multi-track player and there's different channels and different tracks all being kind of manipulated in real time.
the
It's a bit intense for a
whole
browser.
world singing
But if this is useful for some reason,
all day long. What good will come a
and there's also a way to speed it up if that
weaving
particular functionality is useful for the
us
song.
on a song. Smile the while you are singing, oh Mary.
What else do we have here? There is a bit of a help functionality. If you hit the toggle buttons, it will try to tell you a bunch of stuff with these little orange arrows. That gets a bit overwhelming, maybe. There's a lot of stuff going here. If you happen to forget, and you can hit the toggle button again to turn them off. I think they also turn off if you scroll because why? If you're scrolling, you're not reading them. There's a little bit of information about whether you're getting audio here or not and how to troubleshoot that. This little heart doohickey is just if you happen to be working on a specific tune and you want to be able to get back here quickly. If you go to the dashboard, your favorites end up showing up here. Probably don't want to have a whole lot of those because then it kind of defeats the purpose. But if you're working on a couple tunes, you can stick them there and get to them easily. What's next here? There's PDF or multiple PDFs actually that can be associated with any given song, and it's pretty standard, I think. This might look differently depending on what browser you're using. I guess you can change the size. With this particular implementation, I think you can actually draw on it and save that locally if you wanted. I haven't played around with that a lot. I guess you could print it. This is kind of the way that Chrome handles an attached PDF. And there is a full screen view if that's helpful for you when you're singing to look at it this way. Press escape to get rid of that. The other thing to note, like if you are actually looking at the reading or the PDF, you're going to be down here in the controls. I chose a few controls to float so you can start and stop a little bit and go back and forth rather than having to go back, scroll back up and mess with that. There are a couple things that aren't demonstrated by this song. There's lyrics and videos and a number of other things. Let me see if I can find something that has videos. Um, maybe, and so it goes has a video. Oh, cool. Yeah. So for administrators, if you go to the YouTube links, you can stick YouTube links for any given song, and then they will show up at the bottom here, and they can be useful to get an idea of what this is supposed to sound like. Be nice to attach the actual Billy Joel version here. Um, so that's that. There's a place for lyrics if that's helpful. It may or may not be, but they would appear up here. Um, what else? I think that's basically it in terms of the functionality. As far as navigation, these links or this kind of hierarchical menu structure is navigable, whatever that means. So you can go, this is the song, this is the playlist, this is the organization. So if you want to go to the playlist, you can go back to the dashboard or hit the playlist, or you can just hit it here and then you're back there. And for administrators, there is abilities to delete songs and delete playlists and all that. I think it's relatively self-explanatory, but hopefully that wasn't too much information. And hopefully it wasn't too weird to have both administrators and regular users all in one go. But I can always make another video if this is too long. But yeah, hopefully this will work for you. If it's confusing, if something's not working, which is frankly altogether possible. It's beta software, it's new software, and things don't always work on all devices. And there are little bugs that, or maybe even a big bug that might appear. But what else to say? I guess one more thing. Feel free to hit the contact page and let me know if something's not working. And if you have another organization you think that you might benefit from this particular application, you can create your own organization here, like this test org, or I can just remove this test org and then add it again so you can see. So it's new organization, new test org. And then you have an organization, and you can't do much with it because it does cost money to, host these audio files and everything. And there's a subscription model for this, and still working out the pricing. You can have a monthly or yearly subscription, and these prices are the for everyone in the organization. So if you were to do a mini level subscription, you could have up to 5 members in that. It's about $11 a month. And like I said, this is still working itself out in terms of the right number of members, playlist songs, and tracks, because these resources end up being um, services that I pay for as a developer for you guys to use. So if you were a very large church or some huge ensemble in New York City, there'd be a lot of you, maybe 100 or more. Um, and you probably won't see this testing plan. I think I'm the only one that sees that at the moment. Yeah, you can go ahead and get started with something like that. And if you want to talk to me about how this works, you're welcome to find me. I don't even know if there's a link to me on this website, but you can find me online, LinkedIn, Benjamin Lieb, Benjamin Moses Lieb, I think it is. Pretty easy to find, I think. Yeah, Benjamin Lieb. I think just so you can see it, it looks like it's Benjamin Moses Lieb slash. There you go. All right. Well, thanks for your time. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it and it'll be useful, and you'll keep singing and learn your part even faster than you were before and have everything consolidated in one place. All right. See you out there.